It is 6:14 on your Thursday. In the Morning Business Report, Twitter's new blue check policy may start next week.
And Federal Reserve raised interest rates for a sixth time this year. Channel 3's Jane King is live at the NASDAQ with all of those stories. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, Linda. Caitlin, good morning. Yes, the Federal Reserve hiked rates again by another supersized 0.75%. So the Fed trying to slow down spending and stop inflation. The rate hikes do make credit cards and car loans more expensive, but savings accounts are actually yielding some decent returns after years of earning nothing. Well, American Airlines Pilots Union rejected a labor deal. This comes a day after United pilots turned down an agreement, and Delta is also threatening to strike. The unions are negotiating with airlines throughout the industry, and they want a bigger piece of the pie as people are flying again. And Elon Musk aims to start charging for Twitter verification next week. Existing verified users will get months before paying, however. Bloomberg also reports that Twitter plans to expand the edit button feature to all users. And stocks did not like the Federal Reserve hike in interest rates at all, especially the part where the Fed chair said they plan to keep raising rates. The Dow down 500 points, NASDAQ shed 3%, and today we're looking down about 70 or 80. Live from the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Back to you.